Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the mini Enduro with the GT3s. We're at Watkins, Glen, sponsored by the DSL Welding Services. Tonight, myself, Pixar, and Brendo, one of our new commentators that have just jumped on board for tonight. So, how's it going, Brendo?
Yeah, good. It's great to be here with SIW back in the iRacing world. Had a bit of an absence over the last few months, so it's good to get back involved in any way I can. And Watkins Glen, probably one of my favourite tracks on the sim, so great way to get back into the iRacing community.
Yeah, 100%, man. This is probably one of my favourite tracks all across every car. Supercars, GT3s, F3s, anything, to be honest. A lot of threes in that. But yeah, we're at one of the greats for the Americans tracks. We got about 50 drivers tonight, which should be one of bit of an interesting one. Being turn one's a bit of a hairpin. But yeah, it's gonna be a cracker of a night.
Yeah, 50 cars on the grid, certainly going to be an interesting scenario going to turn one there. And Watkins Glen isn't the biggest track in the world, but there's still plenty of space. So after the first couple of laps, and once these drivers sort of find their racing room, no doubt we'll be in for a real treat as they make their way through.
Yeah, 100%. We've got some big names in tonight. We've got the Kintons, we've got Bruce Tannock, we've got all the fishy boys. So there's about 8 of them, and they're growing. Like, please don't grow any more, boys. I'll lose count. One of their kind of new ones on board. Well, not new to Blake Delaney, but Ty Delaney's came on board. The little one. He's joined tonight. He's one of the little pocket rockets. I'm going to start calling him. He's been improving massively. Bruce Tannock is, kind of new to me, but not. Yeah, kind of. I've known Bruce for a bit. I've raced in some different leagues with him. He's always done the GT3s, and he's an absolute weapon when it comes to these things. So he'll be fast tonight. Then Sebastian Flock, one of the Logitech cards, which, God, I don't really need to say much, do I? He's one of the fastest guys on the iRacing servers. He's was very fast in the Taipan, Fuji 6 hour, and his teammates behind him are massively good. And tonight for race control, we got Tyson McAvoy, so that'll be good. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's certainly good when you're in that team environment in iRacing. I know, personally speaking, those being sort of not the fastest driver in the world, but to have those faster guys around you, have that support. It really makes a huge difference as well, just from not only on the track but off the track as well. The camaraderie between the teammates and also inter-team as well. It's what makes this platform so unique, I think, and it's why you can field a grid of 50 cars and things like this because we have those teams in there mixed with the privateers as well. And it just all in all makes for really exciting racing at the end of the day.
yeah, and you talk about privateers. We got people like Nathan. He's on board as a privateer, and there's probably 30 privateers. When you really break it down. But I just saw another fishy guy, Brett. I've actually never seen a Brett fishy car, so good to see a different name. But as we normally know, Jamie Dyke, Michael White, and all that. But the one guy I'm really interested about is Thomas Martin. I haven't seen him getting around too much. I don't know if he's a privateer or a team, but he was hitting P2 in practice, which was definitely impressive. Looking at 50 cars or so. But everyone's on track now, so coming out of the pits, which is good to see. Qualifying, so we got Rick on track too. Completely forgot about PRT. They're another big mover in the pack. Rick is he was a weapon in Porsche Cup last night. Had 2 sprint races. First one was a little sprint round. Then we had a top 10 inverted. Commentated that with old Rattlegun Scotty. He was it was good. Always loved commentating with Scotty. Then who else we got through this field? Brian Borg, he's in BRT. I'm just looking through the field. Kai Ridley, he's a part of one of the. I'm going to forget one of their names. Forgot their team name. Then we got Brett, he's in Fishy. Jamie Dyke's following. There's actually a huge train of Fishies out there right now. Fishy Sandwich.
And I think at a track like Watkins too, if the being in that team environment, there's a fair amount of slipstream that goes on around this track. It's quite a fast, flowy circuit, so they'll be able to capitalise if they can get a good draft down the back straight, the home straight, and even leading up into the bus stop as well. There's plenty of opportunities there for slingshots and slipstreaming around this track. So in qualifying, that could be a key difference as well if those teams can hook up and get some times in together.
Yeah, and you say that, and I'm just looking through the field, like, you know, you team up with like a Jamie Dyke and a Ty Delaney, or Ty Delaney with Blake Delaney. You know, the slower guy pulls the faster guy along, then eventually you swap around. But a bit of favours, you know, and then one day you can go, hey, you owe me. Get in front of me, basically. And,
Yeah, I certainly
yeah.
know my trick when I was qualifying as part of the team was I just sort of get behind the next fastest guy, and that was sort of, if I could keep pace with him, I wasn't going to match his lap time, but it was going to put me in pretty good stead. So, and being your teammate, they kind of let you off sometimes when you make that mistake. They'll sort of ease off and let you catch up and run as a pack, and it helps your consistency as well. You just sort of, instead of focusing on the track, you focus on the rear bumper and get yourself around. So you sort of, you know what I mean? You find that little groove with your teammate, and you can start smashing out some pretty consistent times.
Yeah, and it's good sitting behind those guys. You know, if you get a teammate like Rick, Rick from PRT, he, you know, someone like Seb that joined their team not too long ago, Barndale, you know, he would definitely learn off Rick. Then you go to the Fishies, obviously you learn off Jamie Dyke, but you learn off them just sitting behind them, and you learn their lines, learn the braking. On screen we've got an AWR car, good to see them. Bruce Tannock's on he's got a purple sector and then the middle sector. Very fast dude, knows what he's doing. So he's gonna do a 144. Came up on the timing screen. 143.3. Sorry. My apologies. Who else has been on the board? Thomas Martin, like we said, he's in the Porsche. He's in like P6. Now they're all coming up on board.
Yeah, first few laps starting to come through. Most of the early guys running in those 144s. Couple of guys breaking the 143. Gavin Simpson 143.6, just 3/10 off Panic's pace there. Ricks jumps into the 43s as well, another 43.6. Delaney shoots to the top now, just coming over the grid. 43.1. Excuse me.
Wow, that's a great lap by Delaney. He definitely knows what he's doing there, or Blake Delaney. I can call him old now because he's got a son doing sim racing now.
Jake Edwards into the 42s now.
Wow, what a great lap by him.
42.97.
Oh, he's gonna. Yeah, that's a huge draft from one of the teams. Matthew. He's actually got a fern on the side of his car. Good to see. Yeah, another fern on the track. You never get old of those things. Then Pete Morris is one of the fishy cars in front of Jake Edwards. What else we got on track? Ty's slipstream with Michael Whiting. So like we said about the slipstream. We've got... What else? All the fishy guys are coming out of the pits now. But while we're sitting in qualifying, we can mention about our sponsors, Racecraft Simulations and Toyo Sim, and what's the other one? Braun and Bowden Tools, Marvel Equipment Tools, and who else we got? DSL Welding Services. So thanks to all those guys coming on board. And talking about coming on board, Racecraft's one of our new guys coming on board. John Lee, great guy to work with. Toyo Sim obviously staying on board with us. Those guys actually teamed up. They actually made a full sim for us. So you know, without those guys, to make it work. You know, Toyo Sim have got the new canvases, direct drive, very good price. Direct drives, one of the best ones out right now in my opinion. Very cheap direct drive, but one of the best. Who else we got on the board? Sitting here. Thomas Martin's up the top, 42.7. on board with him right now.
Down the timing sheet early on. The fields are, it's a pretty close field, really. There's 26 cars set a lap time so far, or 25 cars, sorry, set a lap time so far. 146. So, you know, a couple of seconds across the field. Like I said earlier, this is quite a long track. So, to be all within a couple of seconds, you know, shows it's going to be a pretty interesting race. There's not too much of a spread there in qualifying.
Yeah, that's what you want from a streaming purposes of the SRW, but you don't really want that as a driver. You kind of want to have it a little gap so you can go, oh, now I can box, chill out, go and go for a drink. But yeah, these guys will probably just stretch to the end. So we've got 20 minutes of qualifying, so they'll probably stretch out the time as much as they can. Jamie Dyke is sitting at 11th. So that's a bit interesting, but no slipstreaming partner, and he's actually in the BMW, which is quite interesting. So tonight we've more got Mercs and Porsches. What's your favourite, Brendo?
I mean, it's really track dependent, isn't it? So I think around here I would probably usually run the Merc. Just because I'm not a huge fan of the Porsche. I sort of struggle with the rear engine.
Yep.
In the Porsche, that's just a personal thing though. The BMW I always found not too bad around here. It's sort of one of the cars that's a pretty general all-round car. Not always the quickest, but certainly one of the easy ones to drive, I think. And it is more suited to those longer straights. And I think maybe Watkins is just on that sort of shorter straight category, you know, when you compare it to the likes of Daytona or one of those real big long endurance tracks where it really lets the BMW get into the higher range of horsepower. But interesting choice, you know, as we look through, you know, not that many Ferraris either. It sort of seems to be very much Mercedes dominant throughout the field. So obviously these drivers have done their research and they know what they're doing for tonight.
Yeah, and I'm just looking on track here, and we've talked about the slipstream already, but Brian Borg's pulling around Rick. His new nickname is actually Roy, which Scotty's came up with. So you can thank Scotty for that. Rick's actually doesn't mind the nickname, surprisingly. Yeah, Rick's been pulled around by Brian Borg, his boss. Dodds. So Rick's actually sitting in 7th right now. It's not too bad at all. You kind of want to be in that top 10, don't you, Brendo? You kind of want to be just in that top 10, you know, be up.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of ways to play it, really. We've got an mini endurance here, so it's not like it's a sprint to the finish. So you can almost afford to be sitting, you know, in that 10 to 20 pack even. And if you can avoid that first lap carnage, which, you know, in an ideal world there won't be, but let's be realistic, 50 cars going down into a very slow first corner, there's going to be some action.
Yeah.
You know, if you can find the right gap there, there's good opportunities to really capitalise on a poor grid position, or what would normally be considered a poor grid position.
Yeah, so as like you said, about private tiers, you know, drivers not as big as PRT, Fishy, and all that. Harry Dodds has actually jumped up to P10. And he was just talking to me, and he said he didn't feel too confident. So good to see him up in the ladder. He's probably stoked about that lap time. So he did a 1:43.6. As we keep flying through, the PRT guys are still pulling along. The juice cars are still pulling along with them. Riley, Ray Oliver. So Kyle and Ray Oliver, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Harry. If you go back to Harry, I've known Harry for a few years now, and one thing you have to admire about Harry as a sim racer is he really puts in the time and effort. You know, he sort of looks at his performances. He's probably his own biggest critic, to be fair. And he spends countless hours perfecting those laps and getting his racecraft up to where he wants it to be. So, you know, when he does have a good result like that, you can be assured that he's put in the work, as has, you know, all the top drivers. You know, they put in the hours. It's not just showing up to the race and being good. That there's a lot of practice involved outside of the race nights and whatnot. And a lot of these guys are running 2 or 3 different series a week as well. So to put the time into each one of those cars and tracks week in, week out, you know, that hard work, at the end of the day, you want it to pay off.
Yeah, and you do want to pay it off, you know, like you want to turn up and, you know, from the SRW standpoint, you know, you've got the stream, So, for sponsors even, you're showing up to impress your sponsors that are watching the stream. A lot of these guys have got big sponsors that, you want to impress, like the PRT guys who have got Racecraft, that's their main sponsor. People like that, you want to impress your sponsors. You want to impress yourself almost, because you want to go, where do I see it in 50 cars? I want to, see where I'm at. Then you can improve yourself and go, right, I can improve here, here, and here in your telemetry after the race, and go, okay, I could have improved. Next round, I can do better.
Yeah, and I mean, back when I was racing a little bit more as well, you sort of get to know the guys that you sit around. So it's always that the little micro battles as well. You might be racing for, in this field of 50, you might be racing for, say, 25th position, but you know who you're around roughly, and you sort of win your own battles. So, you might go out there and say, hey, look, this guy usually finishes a couple of places ahead of me, so your goal tonight is just to beat him, So it's not always about getting the top prize, but it is about, performing consistently and trying to beat your own little battles, as you say.
Yeah, and I've definitely had battles with teams over the last couple of months. I've actually been battling with the Fishy Boys. We've always had an inside battle with David Kirby and the rest of the team, so that's always been good. But as I look at the times, I was talking to the guys before, and I said, oh, I reckon the Porsche is going to be the fastest car. And so far, we've got Thomas Martin, who's actually doesn't have a teammate that I can't see on track. He's sitting P1, Rick in PRT, he's sitting in P2, who's in the Beamer. So there's a Porsche Beamer, Jake Edwards is in P3, and he's in a Porsche. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. You looked at the qualifying chart, maybe not even 5-10 minutes ago, and it was very much Mercedes and Porsche all the way through. And now, as we get sort of down to the last 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes of qualifying, we're starting to see a couple of those Ferraris and those BMWs shining through. So perhaps not quite as one-sided as we first thought.
Yeah, and I was talking to the other drivers before, and they said definitely the Mercs will be stronger. But yeah, like I said, it's not going to be as what we thought. So it's good to see a bit of a different cars out there. I've always been a Porsche fan. I've done many endurances in the Porsche. I just love the sound of it and the rear engine. As we see, Dave in one of the kitten cars just having a bit of an incident. He just collided with one of the juice cars.
Yeah, I think my go-to was generally always the Ferrari. I just don't know. Something about the Ferrari just really resonated with my driving style. Not always the fastest car. I could quite often get other cars to go faster, but in an endurance environment, you kind of want sort of familiarity. Familiarity? Yeah,
Yeah,
said that right. Yeah,
yeah,
you kind of want something familiar over something fast and aggressive, because at the end of the day, there's no point having the fastest lap if you don't finish the race.
yeah. I 100% agree with you. Talking about consistency, Harry Dodds is in P8 now, so he's definitely moving up in the field. So, as we can see in the top 10, I'm just noticing top top 10, they're all just trying to have a bit of real estate, because you could be P8 and be knocked out through the next lap. So they're all pushing each other to get the best lap time out. And we're talking about Jamie Dyke not really being up there, because we've always just seen him up there. He's actually sitting in P12 right now, so that's a bit shocking from Mr. Dyke. He's a commentator, and I have commentated with him before, and he's a great dude, and he's actually a bus driver. So it's pretty funny when you go, he's one of the fastest guys on, one of the fastest guys on the server for SRW, and he's a bus driver. So it's pretty funny that way, but yeah, he's actually following Blake Delaney, so I think that's he's getting his lap in right now.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about him being down in 12th. He's only half a second off the pace, so 5/10 is, I mean, it's a big time difference on the chart, but realistically, it's sort of only a couple of poorly executed corners. Not even poorly executed, just just sort of slightly off that mark, and you're going to lose that 10th really quick. So, to say down to 12th, it's not necessarily a bad thing given the quality of the field, and certainly, you know, it gives yourself opportunities we talked about earlier. That sort of 10 to 20 mark. If he plays his cards right off the start, he could give himself a real opportunity to sort of get his way up there through those first few laps.
Yeah, and you talk about opportunities. Jamie Dyke's one of these people where if there's an opportunity, he's just like that. He'll put the car up the inside and go for it. And he's one of the cleanest drivers I've raced against too, Jamie Dyke. I've raced with him a lot. And as we can actually just see in shot back, there's Harry Dodd's just lurking in the background, which he's sitting in PA. And you say he's one of Harry Dodd's his own critic. And I would agree with you. Definitely. So he's following one of the fishy boys. Jamie Dyke was our championship leader. As we see, Blake a massive slide, huge slide.
Just trying to get every last millisecond out of that bus stop. I know it's probably one of the biggest time wasters on this track. If you can get it right, you can certainly make up some time. Being aggressive with those curbs, and of course trying to get the off-track strike as well. But probably for Harry, he would have been looking at that thinking he was going to get into a bit of a drafting train, but then it all just fell apart really, really quickly.
Yeah, he would have been like rubbing his hands together and going, "Hey boys, come on, just stay together. You know, I'll just slip off. Yeah, I'm just sitting in the background. You know." But yeah, it's unfortunate for Harry Dodds and all the fishy boys there. Or
Well,
not
already
all
we
of them,
see
but
those.
yeah.
We see that 169 car, those two fishy boys just lurking right behind them. So again, we're probably going to be looking at getting some kind of slipstream train coming on here. A couple of minutes left, so these guys will definitely get at least one more lap in after they pass the control line.
Yeah, and we're talking about another train. We've got the kitten cars together. So Adrian and we've got Daniel. So they're just cruising around. There's another one coming through. Andrew, he's coming through. There's a kitten car. Daniel Thomas, I haven't seen him as a fishy car, so that's interesting. So I haven't seen that name before, so it's good to see him. So as we just hear Shibby in the background, he drives Formula 3, so which I actually commentate. So now I feel bad if I've missed him. So sorry about that. If I've not seen you before, bud. But I probably have. But yeah, that's just a mistake. Ty Delaney sitting in 28th. The young little chap. So it's good to see him doing well. Who else we got? Adam Simpson. He's one of the F3 drivers. He's actually sitting in P18, so that's good to see him up in the top 20. I'm just trying to find other drivers. We've got Brian Borg and Rick connects. Rick connected to Brian Borg. They're just.
I'm just trying to find some more names I recognise.
Yeah, it's
like you say, I've been out for a few months, so the sort of the environment's changed. There's a lot of new guys come into the league, and that's what it's good to see. I remember sort of back in the old days, this league was 10, 15 people running around a track. So to see it up in the 50s now and multiple nights, it's huge, So good to see.
Yeah, it's great to get on board with the SRW guys. It's just absolutely blown up, and it's a massive success for the SRW guys, and we wouldn't be here without our sponsors. Like I named them all before, go and check them all out. I don't think any of them, I would not give them a bad name at all. They're all genuine, nice guys and good to deal with, and they massive helpers. So thanks to all our sponsors, and even just the guys in the background. You've got like all your admin, Stephen, Shibby, they make it happen, and you got to say thanks to them, and yeah, wouldn't be here without them. So as we
yeah, you definitely can't understate the amount of work that goes on in the background. But and of course, the viewers, of course, as well. Tuning in each week and watching. That's the reason why we broadcast and the reason why we do what we do is because it's really it's a good entertainment value. If you can't drive, it's good to get on and watch. And I know like a lot of drivers have families and friends tune in to watch as well. So a massive shout out to all you guys as well for supporting your friends and family and helping them do what they love to do.
Yeah, and as we just finish up quali, and but yeah, it's definitely it's a good environment to join. It's good to learn off people too. Want to, the couple of the best teams in the sport right now. So it's good to join and have a bit of a laugh with all our admin and everything. So yeah, hit up one of the boys or go to our Facebook at SRW. You know, and we've got SRW Academy too. So you know that's a new league. So if you're under 16, you can join that and learn off a couple of the best drivers in SRW right now. You know, some of the won championships. Join up and yeah, if you're under 16, come join. Learn off the best and yeah, have a good time. So as we just wait for everyone to grid up. So
Yeah, so all the cars finishing. Thomas Martin takes the pole, 142.63. Rick Kunitsov,
yep, yep,
142.91. Yeah, I got that right. Awesome. Jake
yep.
Edwards there hanging on for third, just 142.95. And we talked about Jamie Dykes being stuck down in 12th. He's managed to sneak up into fourth somewhere when we weren't looking. 142.97. Absolutely outstanding lap there from Jamie. Fifth place, Bruce Tannock, 143.09. Ray Oliver, 143.18. Delaney, my lap timing just went. Oh, there we go.
So
It's on screen. So Delaney, 7. Brett Wardby, 8. Harry Dodds, 9. Michael Whiting, 10. Kyle Ridley, 11. Daniel Bryan, 12. As we say, 7/10 there separate the top 12, so very close field. 13th, Owen Coleman. 14th, Adrian Loretti. 15, Luke Swan. 16, Gavin Thompson. I'll leave you guys to read that. There's a lot of names on screen there. It's going to be an amazing race start here. 50 cars on the grid. That's assuming they've all made it, of course.
yeah, I've actually bit of a shock. Sebastian Flock in 35th. That's he'll be coming through the field like a angry hornet.
Yeah, Greg
And
Johnson down there in 31, another name I sort
yeah,
of recognise. I expect to sort of see him a little bit higher as well, perhaps.
so yeah, as we called out all the top 10 to top 20, it's all
So,
seeing them in top 20. That's almost like a top 10 almost. Seeing the
yeah,
caliber.
exactly. So 34 cars have made it to the grid for the start of this race. A few extra names down there on screen, of course, the admins, race control, etc. So 34 cars qualified and will take for the green flag.
That's another shocker. We got Brian Borg a bit down the field as well. So I don't think he got a. Oh no, he's in 21st. Sorry, Brian. But yeah, it's yeah, I think my timing just had a bit of a glitch there. But yeah, it's a couple of names down the field which are normally up the front, but it's always good to have those kind of guys in the back come through the field. That's always great for the stream and me to watch. Same as Brendo, so that's always good. Harry Dodds is up the field too. He did an astounding job. He'll be starting in 9th. But as we start rolling off the grid, so rolling start, so just a roll around the track, get the tyres warm. But look at that shot. Awesome shot by our producer. Awesome shot. 30, what was it? 34 on the grid. 38. 38 cars. Wow. Awesome to see. Yeah, I'm just flicking through the field, but it's I think we got it. Kind of just got to sit here and just look at these cars and go, wow, this is a legitimate enduro. So this is our mini enduro series. But yeah, just look at that.
Certainly impressive watching the static cams on the side of the track there. We see just all those cars rolling past. It's going to be an epic race ahead. Linear cars fighting for not much real estate. Thankfully, this track probably is one of the kinder turn ones in regards to plenty of runoff area.
Yeah, yeah. As we all know, the NASCARs run around here, so there's a lot of real estate. Big heavy cars, heaps of power. So that's always good for that reason. But yeah, these things have a lot of downforce and a lot of power, so they don't need to run as far off. So hopefully everyone kind of just goes too wide through the first corner, but as we all know, turn 1, make a lot of positions up. But if I was out of this whole field right now, and if I was the one that pulling my pants a little bit, it'd be P1 right now, because got a PRT car and you got a Whitey's Pies behind you. So, and you got Jamie Dyke. So that's a bit of a scary thing in your mirrors.
Yeah, certainly T1 probably not the. No, you want it. You think it'd be the best place to be, but it's sort of a lot of pressure on that one spot. You've got to get turn 1 right. Last thing you want to do is run a bit too deep and leave the door open for those 3 to come through, because you give them the chance and they'll certainly capitalise.
Yeah, 100%. So as we just roll around, we're starting to come out of the boot now. So this is actually called the boot. So we've got the normal circuit, which we're coming up to, which is normally just a long straight, but the GT IMSA, they included this boot, so it's a bit of a tricky little bit, and you come back onto the proper circuit here now. There it is.
Probably one of the more technical bits of the track too, to be fair. It's
oh, yeah.
That braking zone down into the start of the boot is probably, it's quite a fast corner, but it kind of tricks you into thinking you can go a little bit quicker than you can. It's very easy to understeer under brakes, end up in that grass, and you know, you can just get collected on your way through as they come around the last corner now.
So we're
about to start.
We're about to go green here. So Mini Enduro, we're about to go green for our first round, and there they go. All 3 of them. We're almost 3 wide, so the Whitey's Pie is going to go up in the middle. We've got Rick on the outside. We've got Thomas on the inside. Rick has made a position on the outside. This is where he wants to be. Coming up to the line. So over the hill, massive hill, bit of a contact, bit of rubbing. Over the hill. Now they're going to turn right, bit of a crest here. So we've got Bruce Tannock coming through the back too. He's up the inside. This is where Bruce wants to be.
Massive pile up in the background there, guys.
Massive pile up. Look at that, huge.
Cars skidding up along the roof. Some upside down, some in the fence.
Safety car's been called. Safety car, safety car. Huge wreck. Wow. What a start.
Hard to really tell what happened there with watching that front pack. They were pretty clean, really. A little bit of rubbing going on between the Jake and Rick there, but all in all, you know, pretty fair racing, just trying to get that position on track. Thomas got off to a great start. Holding his line nicely through those first couple of corners.
I don't think he could have got a better start, to be honest. Rick and Thomas were at it. They were rubbing doors, and just as we have a DSL Welding Services replay, look at this. Great to see just everyone coming through. But yeah, Rick was doing absolutely amazing there too. But just a bit of contact there, so now we'll see the back of the field coming up the hill. Awesome shot there too. So we just had to.
I think Bruce would have been pretty happy with his position too, sitting there in 4th, coming through all that. He was sort of just waiting for an opportunity.
Yeah, oh, look at that. Huge wiggle. Oh, so held his brakes. Oh, just huge incident. One of the juice cars just absolutely getting smashed.
Yeah, it looks like he's just got a bit loose in the rear, and unfortunately the whole field at that point were just passengers, really. Not a heck of a lot they could do from there.
Yeah, massively. I think we'll have race control sorted out, put the penalties out, but as we can just see behind Bruce, 2 fishy cars. And that's Jamie Dyke and Michael Whiting, I'm pretty sure. No, Blake Delaney, sorry.
Blake Delaney.
Yeah. So that's very good to see that. So thanks for DSL Welding Services for the replay. But you know what? I don't mind Bruce Tannock's livery he's got there. It's very flash.
It's a nice livery. I think, you know, it's quite interesting when you look at liveries on iRacing. You know, you can go really, really extreme, but sometimes just simple and effective stands out a whole lot more and can make the car look really, really nice.
Yeah, definitely. Like when you talk about out there cars, look at that. Jamie Dyke's livery and Blake Delaney's livery. They are just so bright. You could not miss them, even if you were blind. They are so out there. But yeah, got some nice liveries in front of us, of course.
I
Whitey
think I
Splies
saw the
and Rick.
CX, yeah, the CXR Merc was back in the field somewhere. That Pullmaster livery, or whichever it is, quite a out there kind of pattern design on that car. And I know that obviously being part of CXR, our painter puts a lot of effort into all our cars, making them look real nice. But that's certainly one of the more out there ones for the CXR boys. And then of course we have the Whitey's Pies partnership as well, and sort of that classic gold and black colouring, and just that really stands out quite nicely, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to have. I've always thought black and gold's always just look very classy. Looks like
Yep.
you're in a smoker's lounge, just that colour.
Black and gold or British green, I think.
Definitely. So yeah, but I was just going through the field, Brian Borgs, but a bit of damage there on the back of his car there, on the diffuser.
Perhaps got caught up checking up on that incident a little bit
Yeah,
earlier on.
I think he has, because what's his front bumper? Oh yeah, his front bumper is massively damaged. Yeah, very caved in, so he must have hit. Oh, Randall's car's wrecked too. So we've got Randall and Brian. Borgshorts is his nickname, as Scotty's recently called him. So yeah, Randall and Borg have got damage. So that's from 13th to 12th. There must have been a bit of an incident there, so a bit of a checkup. But yeah, from there, cars look pretty good, pretty smick. But as we're just under the safety car here, and where's our safety car?
I think there's some redressing going on.
Yeah,
Car's no doubt out of position.
yeah, yep. Just redressing and going there. There's your position, buddy.
Almost be returning to grid start, I would think.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So
Wow.
we'll just
Yeah.
be it'll just be a rolling start. So we'll just come back around again. There's our beautiful safety car. Thanks to the promo department, which always looks awesome on track. Just that nice bright white. It's got safety car on the back of it. Can't miss it. Great looking car too. McLaren. Always love myself. Don't have the car though, so I will need to pick that up from the promo department. So thanks to them. Then yeah, there's but that was just a huge wreck, wasn't it? Just huge bingle.
Yeah, well, it was interesting. We talked about it being at T1, but instead it was coming up the hill onto the back straight, which, in hindsight, thinking about it now, was probably a more realistic spot for it to happen, actually, because those cars get a bit loose on cold tyres coming up that hill for the first time, and everyone trying to fight for position. It was sort of kind of makes a bit more sense than a T1 pile-up. And you certainly want that best run possible going down the back straight, so be interesting to see how they go off. A few laps under safety car now, the tyres will be cold again. So drivers will be a little bit more aware, I think, this time coming around. Maybe give each other a bit more space as they come up the hill and onto the back straight.
Yeah, it's just having those cold tyres. But the one person that will not like this is Thomas, who's leading the race right now. He will not like that because now he's going, right, I've got to do that all over again. And that was the most scariest thing I've ever done. So he'll be definitely be going, what do I do now? He's going to make a bit of a strategy, as we see there. Promo department, safety car pulling away, beautiful car. So now we have
certainly
Thomas
got it right. Certainly got it right the first time. He's going to want to be playing that strategy now off the restart. He has control of the field. Interesting to see, I think, how early he goes, given that last corner isn't necessarily flat out, but off this restart, you can certainly get your timing right and get a good run.
Yeah, and you talk about that run, and you definitely want that. So as we're about to go green, so he's just going to bunch the field back up again. So he's going to go probably really early here, and there he goes, gone, out of here. So he's just pulled a massive gap from Rick from behind him in that beautiful BMW. Huge gap now. So as we see Bruce right up the inside, on the first corner. Awesome move by
Yeah, that was
Bruce.
an incredible run there from Bruce. He timed that jump to perfection, really. He was,
Yeah.
I think, watching Rick's car there in second and just got his runner underway coming out of that last corner, passed him right after the control line and completed the dive into turn one.
So we see Jake Edwards, he's going to have a bit of a peek. Is he going to go up the inside? No, he's going to go on the outside. This is where it's a pretty good move. He's backed out of it. He doesn't want to risk it yet. We're only 14 minutes into this, so he's going to be like, all right, I've got heaps of time. Jamie Dykes going, I need to get by here, guys.
Yeah,
The old bus driver.
sensible decision there from Jake. And you see those fishy boys, both of them, both Blake and Jamie, right behind that, looking for an opportunity. Jamie a bit more so, right on the bumper of Jake Edwards there, going through the bus stop, looking for that opportunity to get past.
Right. As I said about Jamie Dyke with the bus, you can buses are pretty big, so you can just push old Jake along. So you can make friends here too. So Jake might actually use Jamie as a bit of a tool here, and Blake Delaney's right behind him as well. So that's teammates. So as we now look through the back of the field, it was 3 wide with the Kitten cars. Kitten cars are teammates too. So we have Brendan. Then we've got, who else is there? So 3 wide almost with the Kitten cars. We're going to work as a team here. So they're on the outside. There's 3 of them there. Look at them. Pink ones. Oh, as we see Toddy getting a bit loose, the chef. So
Certainly a few different lines coming out the top of the boot there.
Yeah,
trying
definitely.
to find some track position.
Yeah, track position is very key. So as we see, Todd just gets back into the group now. Kitten cars are going, yep, let's back out of it. Don't need to pass him yet. Oh, as we see a car off. Who is that? Might need a bit of a DSL Welding Services replay. As we just, so we got three Kitten cars. So we got, massive dive. Look at that. All 3 of them are going to go by. All 3 of them. They're all gone. They're like, nah, let's not. As we see 3 wide, Brendan's 3 wide here with, no, now we got 2 wide. Now are they going to go back to 3 wide? No, they're going to go back to 2 wide.
It's certainly the...
Oh, he's around. Todd's around. I think that was Todd. So as we just go back a little bit, try and figure out what happened there.
Yeah, certainly one of the interesting things running as a team, when you got the 3 Kitten cars like that, you know, if one gets past, the other 2 kind of want to follow pretty quickly. And while all that was happening, you sort of look at the timing screen, you can see Jake Edwards briefly there went 4th first and put a zigzag through. There was a bit of play going on in the top 4 there. But based on the timing screens now, that gap's also spread out quite a bit, so they've had their little tussle and they've found a bit of territory on the track.
Yeah, and we're talking about track position and territory because these guys do spread out normally. So we've got Brian Borg in the background. We've got Luke there. So good looking livery. Nice bright purple one. So he's going to hunt down the, I think that's the Fern car. I could be wrong. No, that's the Fishy. So we've got Brett in front of him. So one of the newer ones, I think. So good to see that green Fishy car.
Yeah, a bit of a Merc train going on there at the moment. Sort of between 8th and we're down to 14th, so
yeah,
similar sort of power and tuning, no doubt. We'll see a bit of a run there from those guys. Someone's hit the wall. That's Bruce Tannock in the wall.
Oh, just moved off. Awesome move by Bruce. Just got it out of the way.
Very lucky they're not to let that car coming through on the outside.
Yeah.
Whoever that was, they did a great job to avoid that.
Yeah, I think that would have been Brett would have missed. Oh, Jamie Dyke missed him. Wow, that was close. We've got a few replays to go through, so we can see one of the Fishy cars. We've got Dean, that's just went up the inside of the AWR. Good to see that livery. I have ran that livery a couple of times. It's a good looking livery. Going back to Michael Whiting, one of the Fishy cars. It's just fishy everywhere. It's just a big old fishy sandwich. So we've got Jake Edwards talking about something.
Yeah, Jake Edwards has dropped down the timing screen there. I can't even see him on the timing screen now, so obviously been caught up in something.
Yeah, he might have had that issue with Bruce Tannock. That could have been the issue at hand. So if we just look through the field for a second, Bruce and Yeah, so there was an incident with Jake. So it would have been with Jake and Bruce. Yeah, wow. So now we got Thomas, Rick, then Jamie Dye. So they're a big gap, yeah.
Oh, that's a big hit.
Oh, look at that.
Was it a net code or did he cut him off?
I think he might have.
It
Oh,
looks
he's
it
came down. Yeah,
looks
wow.
like Bruce has come down on him and he's sort of.
Oh, wow. I wonder if that's intentional, I wonder.
Oh, I don't know if it'll be intentional. I think he's just kind of not realised how far up Jake was, and unfortunately for the both of them, it's kind of ruined both of their races.
Yeah, it has, definitely. As we go back to Brian Borg, thank you for DSL Welding Services for that replay. I think we're actually on the safety car. Yeah, safety car.
Yeah, so maybe some kind of penalty impending there for Bruce Tannock on that one.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, both of their races have been ruined, so it's not really going to make too much of an impact on their results at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want straight up. Like, we got 20 minutes in so far.
Bit of a silly mistake there, really. Just not quite being aware where your opposition, where your rival drivers are on track.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just get caught up in it and go, you know, just in the zone, and you forget you know, there's someone there, and you just yeah, just have.
I think it's one of those things too. As the leading car, you're kind of looking for your apex as well, so you just kind of naturally driving. You don't really consider it as much. No one's. Well, you can't really blame Jake for trying to get up on the inside. There was a gap there initially, so.
Yeah, so he's went for it. So Bruce Tannock's actually in P13, so decent recovery.
Yeah, he's done all right, that's for sure.
So he might come back from this. He doesn't look like he's got that much damage, to be honest, which is very good for him. But Jake Edwards' car was just absolutely like just destroyed. So we see Bruce Tannock in the pits.
Yeah,
so
Jake's car certainly hit the fence pretty hard there on the replay.
So definitely
drive-through penalty perhaps? Or is he stopping for repairs? Yeah, Bruce.
Yeah,
No, he's
I
stopping
reckon
for repairs.
I would have stayed out until if there was a penalty that came out though. But he's just looking like he's going in the pits. Get some damage. Take the fast repair. There you go. So he's getting. Well, he might get a bit more fuel too. So could come down a strategy too. So 7 laps of fuel, almost.
What happened to
eight actually. So
just saw Harry Dodds down in 32nd as well. Something's happened to him. He's fallen right down the chart as well. Down 24 positions. Could have pitted under safety car. He's dropped to the back. Just noticed his name flash on screen.
Yeah. Well, like we were saying, he started really well, but wonder what he might have got caught up with Bruce Tannock and Jake Edwards there.
Possibly.
So we might have to go and have a quick look at that. Get a chance. So as we see, one fishy car.
Just gone for a pit stop then, so.
So we can just had a bit of comms over there.
So field filtering through. Looks like they're slowing again now.
Yeah.
We're releasing the safety car this lap, are we?
I'd say so. So as we can just see a couple of fishy cars. Bit of voice comms over the radio too. So Brian Borg just having a bit of a chat. So we see Thomas is up front. He'll be loving life right now. Just hanging up there. So I think we'll go for another lap actually.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for another lap. The safety car lights are still on. certainly a pretty big gap there between Rick and Thomas if they are going.
Yeah, I just heard over on Brian Borg saying to catch up, but Black Glen, he's saying we're going the same speed as Rick. So teammates actually almost fighting against each other. So a bit interesting by that point, but the bunching up again. Sorry.
So Rick's really bunching up the field here. Bit of strategy
Yeah.
perhaps.
Like I said, Brian Borg was saying that people just bunch up, and so Brian Borg's got a bit of a gap too. So it might be a bit of a PRT strat.
Possibly. I tell you who's done really well out of this though is Jamie Dyke. We've seen him come up again, and now he's sitting in 3rd place. So if he can capitalise this restart there, he could be in good position to get up and have a go at Thomas. We certainly saw in the earlier stages, that last little segment of racing, that he was looking aggressive and looking to make passes.
I'll tell you what, there's the biggest mover in the field right now is that Samuel Thomas. There's actually a lot of Thomases in their last name, so I wonder if it's a bit of a related or not. So we've got Dylan Thomas, then we've got Samuel Thomas. So
Yeah, up 18 positions, so big jump from him.
huge jump.
Peter Morris up 17.
Brian Borg's up 10 to 11.
Nathan Gardner up 13. Matthew Gerard up 15. Probably a lot of that, I think, a result of avoiding that accident lap 1.
Yeah, definitely avoiding those incidents and crashes. Just want to move yourself along and say, bye boys, I'm catching the rest of the field.
You don't feel like wrecking the car today, I'm going to keep racing, thanks.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, definitely what you want. So you just see, yeah, Rick still kind of got that little gap there. Bit of gap with Mocha Whiting there too with the fishy car.
Yeah, certainly an interesting tactic, I think, from Rick there in second. I don't know whether he's trying to get a good run up and maybe pre-anticipate the jump and do a bit of a move there, or I don't know. It's certainly an interesting strategy.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting strategy, especially when Brian's on the radio. But we just see him bunching up back again. I think the safety cars went away, so now we'll just wait for the. I think Thomas might just bunch up the field. He might go really early like he went last time. So Rick's still got that gap there.
Yeah, still quite a gap there.
Which I'm quite fascinated by, because Thomas could go now, and that would be it.
He certainly went sort of in between this sort of second to last and last corner last time. So if he does that again off this apex, he's still got quite a gap there.
Yeah, definitely. You want to be on that rear bumper.
He's went.
There goes Thomas. Absolute gone out of here. He got that same gap from the last time he jumped. So Rick hasn't really got a good launch there. So he's got him napping, which is always good for Thomas. So he's now going to pull the gap out. Rick's awesome on the brakes, probably noticed from the Porsche Cup last night. So he's pulled him back in. Jamie Dyke's right there. 2 Beamers. So top 3.
Certainly think Rick called his bluff there, leaving that little bit of a gap open, and it's just allowed Thomas to really pull away. Build out to half a second straight away, coming in the back straight, move through the field from Ray Oliver in the juice cart. Sitting there in 4th, just watching the top 3 battle it out, splits the 2 fishy boys. There's a fishy boy behind them as well, by the look of it too. And,
just 1 fishy, 2 fishy, 3 fishy, 4 fishy.
Pretty much.
I need to make a song out of it. I'm sure we
can gotta do something.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I saw a fish alive.
Yeah.
Kind of work. That could kind of work. I'm sure we could make that work.
Yeah, that'll work. That will work. So there's Peter Morris is coming through the field too. So one of the fishy cars up. So actually up 15 positions. Awesome move. One of the bigger movers out of the field right now. One of the Kitten cars, Dave. Good to see him again. I think he was in the F3s. So yeah, good to see him again. Get a
There's going to be plenty of battles down here further on in the back of the pack. It's all good while watching these top three battle it out, but I think most of the racing is going to be done down in this sort of 15 to 20 kind of period. These sort of, dare I say, mid-tier drivers.
oh.
You know, it's sort of. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's sort of, the guys that kind of have those battles. They're not sort of looking to pull big gaps. They're going to be battling the whole race. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a runaway victory for any of these guys.
Yeah, and I think you're totally right about that. And as we see Sebastian Plot coming through the field, one of our quicker drivers is right now.
And something's happened. Jamie Dykes found his way in first, and Martin's gone right down the chart. Timing's wrong. Jamie Dykes still on third. Not SDK's just having a moment then. No, riding it now.
Jamie Dyke has a move, same as SDK. So as Rick's just catching on the back of Thomas, I think Jamie Dyke might be just saving a bit of tyre. So that's always good to have at the end. Look at that field. Just a big old snake coming through the boot. So that's where we come up to the boot. The best bit of the track, I reckon. I think Brendo would agree with me.
Yeah, definitely. It's sort of, like I say, it's one of the more technical sort of bits. The fast flowing nature of the track. It's really European style couple of corners. It's sort of the undulation changes, the off-camber corners through the boot. It's certainly a different vibe to this racetrack, and it just sort of really rounds it out as an all-round skill set.
As we know, the Americans steal a lot of things, so it's good to see them putting one of the European bits into the tracks. And
I mean, it's just nice to see it's just nice to see an American track that runs clockwise.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely. You definitely need some corners in your life, and they've put it on there. So it's one of the best tracks in the world. So having one of the best racetracks in the world, it's definitely not bad for the Americans. So thank you for that. So we go back to the back of the field. 27th.
On board with Sebastian Flock.
Yep. So he'll be coming through the field. He's up 8 positions. Where he started.
Sitting behind a couple of kitten cars.
Yeah, bright pink cars. They've been doing really well in the F3s and the Porsche Cups. So it's good to see them in some GT3s in the mid pack. So now we're back up to Michael Whiting, and I think that's Brett. Yep. Didn't want to get that one wrong because fishies would come down on me like a break a wall. Like a house. Sorry. So I can just see Brett's just kind of backing off from Michael Whiting for their boss. So if anyone doesn't know, Michael Whiting is the boss of the team. And Blake Delaney, P5. Oh, right on the back of that diffuser. Wow. Really close.
Couldn't get much closer there. Putting that pressure on.
Yeah. Really just putting that pressure on, I think that's Ray Oliver.
Ray Oliver, yeah, that's the one.
So,
and Ray's kind of in the worst possible place, really. He's got Fishy in front and, 3-4 Fishy cars behind him. Certainly the odds not in his favour there.
Yeah, definitely not. As we see another 2 fishy cars, then we got Samuel Thomas and one of the Century ones. As we see just a fishy car diving up the inside, one of the BMWs. As Thomas just tucked back in, back of the Beamer. Then back up to Michael Whiting. Just fishy. So as we can see, actually, one of them dropped back. Ray Oliver. No. Yeah, Ray Oliver's had an incident. I think he's running into the pit lane. Yes, he's running into the pit.
In the pit lane, yep.
Now just locking down the field. Bruce Tanix in 28th. One of our starters up the front.
What's the go with fuel for this race? Is that going to be a factor to consider as we race for an hour and a half?
Yeah, definitely. There'll be 1 to 2 stops in this race. So yeah, definitely. So capped at the 45%. So yeah, there'll definitely
a couple of stops then. So it could just be the first of the routine stops coming through at the half hour mark.
Yeah, you definitely wanted to have a bit of an undercut, I reckon, in this. because they're all so close. You kind of want to be in some clean air for a bit. So I think that's what Ray Oliver's done. So a very smart option he's done. As Adam Simpson has just a bit of a look. He's one of our F3 drivers. So we've always been saying that fishy cars need to come do some F3 instead of some supercars. So it's good. All the fishy boys are here today with Adam Simpson. So as he just has a little bit of a peek. Now he's going to go up the inside. Awesome move.
He's done that really well. Used the whole racetrack to his potential there. I don't believe that would have been an off track. You can use quite a bit of curb on that out exit there. And he's given himself a good run up into that next corner. A bit of contact there. Coleman in one of the kiddie cars. Manages to keep it clean. Eases it off and redresses redressing the position, just lets him hang on to the position. He'll line him up for another go down into turn 1, no doubt though. He's kept close.
Yeah, it looks like there's some scratches on that car, so definitely not what you want. Going up to the AWR now. Dean up 2 positions, sorry. He's making some ground on the fishy car too. He's putting some good lap times in, so it's good to see. Oh, as we see a bit of an incident, there's a Porsche around. Oh, he's just parked the car. Yeah, so he's just going to park the car up on the inside, so not hitting. Oh, he's...
Oh,
I don't think
he's
that's
trying to get
a
it
good idea.
moving, but doesn't want to pull out. I don't know if he can pull out looking at that.
So he's just
he's just rolling it around.
Oh, there's another fishy car coming around. And the kitten car. Yeah, just go. If we just go in front of Tyler Sheaf, there's a bit of a battle with one of the kitten cars and the fishy. So a bit of rivals. So Pete Morris, kitten car. Dodds is back here too, so he's made another position up the inside. So he'll want to be a bit of a. He's going to be one of these guys that are pushing through the field. So
yeah, a bit of a recovery drive, I think, for Harry now, having fallen back early on.
Yeah.
Still an hour to go though, plenty of time for him to fight his way back up into a good position.
We've got Brian Borg in the pits too. So Rick's going to stay out. Look at this train, massive, absolute ginormous. As one of the juice cars has peaked out. The kitten cars went up the inside. Oh, a bit of contact there. The other kitten
enough
car.
room.
Oh, they're going to go 3 wide.
3 wide into turn 2.
Oh no, they're going to go back to single. Good smash.
2
One
wide
of the
up
juice
the hill
cars.
though.
One of the juice cars are involved too in the
Bit
back.
of a wobble there.
We've got the Sebastian Flock there too, in the Logitech car. So Sebastian's going to go up the inside. Kitten's backed out. One of the kitten cars backed out. Another one's following behind. Brendan O'Neill, I think that was. Brendan O'Loughlin.
Just got the bus stop all wrong there. Found a bit of grass and slingshotted himself straight into the fence.
Oh.
Quite interesting there, that kitten car, that one at the front there, just backed out really early, caused a bit of trouble for his teammates too, with how quickly he pulled up there, going into the bus stop.
Yeah, for Daniel that wouldn't have been too ideal. So as Pete Morris and Tannock, Bruce Tannock, just on the outside, good move there. Great move actually. So and then Harry Dodd's coming through the field too. So he's up 16. Down 16 spots, so he'll be down 15 spots now. Passing.
Well executed move there.
Tyler Sheaf's around too. Just want to point it out. Oh, as we see, Flock's around. Big Flock is around.
Great save there from Harry too, sitting right in the blind spot of the apex to catch that at the last second and avoid that another potential incident there. Done very well indeed.
Yeah, the big Flock is around, so we'll have a look at this incident by DSL Welding Services. So he's just rotated it. Oh, it's one of the.
Has he had to push it around by the look of it as well? Yeah, just that finishing bump.
And this is Harry Dodds when he's came around the corner. Oh, he's just right there. Great reaction time.
It's a great reaction.
awesome. You can see Harry Dodds is nice and focused in. Good to see. So, yeah, back to the action with the juice car. So Kyle. So there's a lot of juiced, kitten, fishy. That just looks like the main teams right now. So one of the Corsair cars are up the inside on the Porsche. So the kitten cars went up the inside, 3 wide out of the corner. Look at that.
Yeah, great move there. Full commitment really from all of those guys to try and hold that position. And Dean Eldridge there just holding his line nicely. He's going to have the inside run up into this next corner. Does need to outbrake the kitten car though. Doesn't have the corner yet, but makes the dive. It's going to run a little bit wide, I think. Have to give it back.
So the kitten car's going to be on the outside here. So this is where you want to be. So right on the outside, he's going to have heaps of grip on the outside. And then look at that. Kitten car's around. So now his teammate's going to come through. He's probably like, come on, buddy. Follow me through. So he's like, all right, bud. Well, I'm going to follow you. So probably just going to set him up. So Dean's going to cover off the position there probably. So back to Jamie Dyke and Blake Delaney. So they might have a little bit of a battle here. So Blake's looks like he's got a bit more speed here. So Jamie Dyke's going to let him through as a teammate. Good communication there by the teammates.
Yeah, and that's what you see within the team too. You know, Blake obviously feeling he's a little bit quicker than Jamie at this moment. Perhaps on strategy or tyres even. And going to have a crack at the leaders. And with any amount of luck, Jamie can stick with him and pull through. But it looks like Blake's pulled off a pretty big gap fairly quickly after making that pass. And he's on his way to hunt down the top 2.
Now back to P12, so one of the kit cars, and Adam Simpson. Oh, no, Adam Simpson's on the right-hand side. Sorry, I think that's Pete. Oh, so one of the kitten cars are in the wall, and Tyler Sheaf. And Jake Edwards has just been,
Big crash.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh yeah, so she's just picked up a lot of
Adrian.
throttle on the curb.
Oh, he's just.
Oh,
So Tyler Sheaf. I don't want to call it, but I reckon.
pretty poor on his part. Really pulls out in front of that kitten car and sort of not a necessary reaction, but as a driver, you kind of can't help but react to that. And
So this is the back of Toddy. So our chef,
no,
he's around. Oh,
Toddy's done that all by himself. Just put his back wheel on the grass.
well done for just backing out. Now he's going to wait for him to go. Toddy's one of our background guys, so well done to see him out here. So Toddy's just coming up the hill. So as we just see Toddy here, good looking livery, as Scotty said last night, and I definitely approve of that. So Tyler's just, yeah, so we're just trying a different angle here, see what's happened. Yeah, so the back ends just came out. So as we know, the Porsche's got the rear engine. The engine's in the rear. So yeah, Tyler Sheaf's just moved. To be fair, he hasn't. Oh, did he move much? Yeah, he's.
Oh, he's definitely moved enough to
Wow.
put that kitten car onto the grass.
Yeah, that was Adrian in the wall. I think he actually pitted.
I mean, to be fair, he wouldn't have seen him coming, but certainly an interesting situation. That's what the relative's for.
Yeah. Oh, so Michael Whiting's just called something in. So Bruce Tannick. So we just heard that come in from the radio, which got tuned in. Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Great racing from those two. Plenty of room given.
Bit of contact there with Harry Dodds and Michael Whiting with Bruce Tannick. So as we just see that, the Michael Whiting's put that in through the radio. The race controller asked what's happening with that. So we're going to have a look at that. So he's dropped 2 positions there.
I just wonder if Harry's looking to redress that position. He kind of made it past, and he was right on the back of Tannick there, and he sort of seemed to slip back a little bit. see Samuel Thomas get overtaken down turn 1, and Harry's lining him up as well.
He's got.
Harry moves back into the top 20. Yeah, certainly not running at pace. So that sees Harry Dodds in the PSR car into the top 20 again. That silver and orange Mercedes. Certainly another one of those standing strikeout cars.
So as we just see Dean straight up the inside. Awesome move. As we heard Michael Whiting call something in too. Again, so we'll just see what happens there. I think Michael Whiting's got a heap of damage though, because he's not very on pace as where he was before. We'll definitely check in with that later on.
Yeah, Dean Eldridge there certainly doing well. Clawing back some positions there that he'd lost earlier on. Samuel Thomas, I think, perhaps maybe nursing a little bit of damage as well. Just looks to be off the pace a little bit at the moment, as he tries to keep up with the fishy car ahead of him, but you see just getting outbeaten on speed there.
As we just hear Ullman talk about rejoin, so we'll, there's some action going over the radio, so definitely keep an eye on our radio for that. We see one of the kitten cars actually pull over, I'm pretty sure. So Harry Dodds is on the inside there, up the inside of David. He's going to make the pass there. Brian Borgs rejoined the track. One of the kitten cars behind as well. So Owen's just following behind one of the juicy cars, and I think that's Kyle, yes. Kyle's going to be on the outside here. Owen's going to probably have him here. Up the inside, yep, look at that. Awesome move. Kyle's just backed out of it a little bit. You go for it, bud. I'll just hang back.
Yeah, textbook down to the bus stop really, and good little battle pack here, I think, too. You know, we're seeing a bit of position change, and some of those guys that got caught up earlier on starting to move through there now.
Oh!
David Gallo,
Oh!
right in the middle of the racetrack, needs to move a little bit, but he's got cars coming around and under him. He's a bit of a sitting duck. This would probably trigger a safety car.
As we see, Brian Borg's actually pulled over.
So it looks like a couple of cars have been caught up.
As we can see, Brian Borg's just in the background. So Dave's just hit the curbs. That looks all good. Oh, so the back ends came out a little bit. So
Oh, he looks like he's still in control.
Oh, so Brian Borg.
He's picked up Brian Borg. He looked at what I was going to say. It looked like he was well in control through the bus stop there. He did get a little bit airborne, but
yeah.
Here we go. So this is Brian Borg's view. He's picked up the inside curb.
Yeah, bit.
And I think one of those situations where he was probably holding the brakes, which is what we're taught to do, but I think in that situation, you probably wanted to give it a bit of gas and try and save it.
Yeah,
Because all he's done there is just skidded himself onto the track.
Dave's just been caught up in that in the Kinton car. That's a bit unfortunate. So as I must say, in the middle of the track, Sebastian Flott going by too.
Pretty good effort from those guys to get around him. He is probably sitting in a pretty good place as far as sitting in the middle of the track is concerned.
Yeah, he is.
He's off the racing line.
So you just see one of the kitten cars go around. So as Brian Borgs went back to the pits, so he's probably his mechanics won't be happy about that. But as we can just see, Thomas Martin's just pulled away from the field and just been another level.
Yeah, almost. No, I'd have thought that might have been a safety car.
No, they did call a safety car.
Oh, have they?
I think so. It says safety car hold position.
Looks like. Oh, yeah, there we go. Safety car's on track.
No, the safety cars by the promo department.
So, you know, that 7-second lead almost that Thomas had as we approach the halfway point of this race. probably not what he was looking for. Well, I mean, you know, realistically, you sort of think a safety car's going to come, but he was certainly giving himself a pretty tidy lead at the halfway stage. Probably see some pit stops starting to happen now as well, given this opportunity.
We just hear Adam Simpson over the radio, and Adam Proctor just saying catch the field. So Sebastian Flock's just, so as we hear race control, just tell them to go around, tell them to go around. So we'll wave them around the promo department safety car. So, and we'll just hopefully see Thomas Martin come around. So we should see him come up in his car. So that is, who's that? That's Bruce Tannick,
That's
Harry
and
Dodds.
Harry.
Who's this coming up? That's Tyler Sheaf coming up. Then we got Vince behind Tyler Sheaf, Braden behind him, and that's Rick. So I think Thomas has actually made a pit stop, and Jamie Dyke haven't. Yeah, wow. So that's interesting. So Thomas has actually made a pit stop. So he's that far in front. He's made a pit stop. Wow, that's good for.
No, I think he's stopped. I think Tyson's just stopped to pick up the leader here. Always funny when the safety car makes a mistake.
So it's, we just see cars going around.
Yeah, Tannick's now in the lead after the pit stop, so
Remember,
coming
he
up the
pitted.
main straight now. He pitted earlier.
Yeah, he pitted lap 7. So
He's done quite a good move out of this, and
yeah.
Harry now moves into second place as the rest of the field come up. So we talked about, you know, how he was sort of sitting there, sort of mid-20s in his climb up to 18th. As a result of those early pits, they've done quite well out of this safety car.
Yeah, he has, definitely.
Jamie Dyke's still staying on track. He's running in 4th. So is Rick there as well. So it'll be interesting to see some different guys up the front now on this next restart.
To see Rick in P3.
Yeah,
Coming
Rick
up
in
hill.
P3. Yep.
As we see Rick's car, PRT, heavily sponsored by Racecraft Simulations. See one of their videos up on the bottom right there. Good looking cars, PRT, just blue, white. That's their normally the colours. So we've got a bit of purple down the bottom, so that's normally Rick's colour. Blue's Brian's. Then yeah, their other drivers, Sebastian, is I think pink in it. So yeah.
Jeez, I wish my rig looked that flash. Yeah. I need to head on to Racecraft, I think, and spend some money.
Yeah, Racecraft, Toyo Sim. They've got all the gear.
Stop it. My credit card's crying.
Yeah, John definitely knows how to sell his gear, and he's a great sponsor for us, for SRW. Great guy. Worked with him personally as my sponsor on our own cars too. So yeah, it's good to have John on board with all of it. So thanks to John for Sim as well.
Do they ship to New Zealand?
Yeah, yeah, that would be interesting. What would the fee be from WA to NZ?
Oh, it probably wouldn't be the shipping; it'd be the income tax. But now we're getting into politics, and that's a whole different story.
Yeah, probably keep away from that. But yeah. But definitely head over to Racecraft. Good guy, good gear. Doesn't sell you bad stuff. So pit exit is closed, as race control points out. We've got Harry Dodds there.
Once more around. A couple of cars getting waved through there. A couple of kitten cars getting waved through.
A lot of kitten cars in there. Kitten cars, Fishy, and what's the other team? And the Juice cars.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be those three teams pretty well represented in the GT3 series.
Maybe we should head back through the field and just see what there is. There might be some other cars we haven't seen yet. So
No, seen fishies. Move on. Next one.
yeah. Yeah. So Thomas Martin P6. So
That's a nice Maguire's livery, actually.
it is.
Very
It's a
classy.
nice. So he's been the leader the whole time, and he hasn't got that much action. So technically he's made his pit stop. So he'll be pretty good. He might need to make a bit of a splash and dash at the end. But Iridium Sim Sports, Luke. That was he was on screen not too long ago. I think he just started the race. So nice looking car, purple car from Luke. So we got one of the fishy cars behind him, and then we got the kitten cars. There's enough of kitten fishy. And then we got Zero F Racing. So good little car there from Porsche, and it's the Corsair livery. Good looking livery. Century Motorsports is behind it. So Peter Pavlich.
Anybody
Peter?
else suddenly feel like chicken?
Yeah, I've already asked for the sponsorship.
Got it. I love that sponsor payout.
Yes, I've already asked him for a bucket of chicken and a zinger box. I said no. Feel very offended. So zinger box would be great, boys. So send it over. Send you my email address.
Otherwise, we'll have to go to McDonald's and get some.
So Frogleet Racing, Motorsport, Hauler Racing. Put all the stuff in that. So he's been doing very well.
I do know at one time those Juice Boys were getting some free stock. That was the juiced energy drinks.
Oh, definitely, I'd love that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind a juiced fridge in my as well.
Well, I've actually got an Ingle in my room. So and then we got the Fern. So he's a privateer.
Team Kiwi Racing.
Kiwi Racing. So I'm sure. So
future Bathurst winner right there. That's for sure.
Oh, maybe not. Cam Waters might have this weekend, but anyway, moving on.
Greg Murphy's starting first. You guys have got no chance.
Here we go.
But I've got $5 on Murph bidding it. I'm getting too old, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Same as Craig Lowndes.
Yeah,
legends. Don't get me wrong, but too old. These young guys on the field are just dominating it right now, eh?
How's Stanaway in qualifying today?
Oh, incredible! Qualifying was crazy. Just the conditions. I'll tell you who surprised me though throughout the whole weekend is James Golding. He's just been, But his qualifying performance wasn't as great, but all through practice, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, so as we're talking about the V8 Supercars, I'm not going to plug him, but Harry Dodds is just boxed. But I'm sure everyone's watching Bathurst this weekend. Great race, but yeah.
It should be a public holiday, I think.
I would agree with that. Not for the Kiwis though.
I mean, you know, it's only fair that we get to watch our countrymen win the great race, you know.
Maybe.
I say that. I don't think. When was the last time a Kiwi won it? It was what, 3 years ago now, 4 years ago?
Gisbergen was.
When was McLaughlin? McLaughlin and then Gisbergen.
2021.
Yeah.
2020, I think Scotty McLaughlin.
Yeah.
The Thirsty Threes as we know him now in the Indy Cup.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tell you what though, it's just
as we just wait for the safety car to come in. I think he's coming in this lap. But that's interesting. Bruce Tannick, P1.
Yeah, I'm surprised Harry's bidded from P2. I don't know what game he's playing there. I thought he might have tried to stick around a little bit.
Yeah, I thought he would have too. So, as we're talking about making positions up, the little pocket rocket has made up 20 positions, ladies and gentlemen. This kid is only 14 years old, while his dad is up the field, and his dad is actually in P7. So that's pretty cool. So, Ty Delaney, I'm sure either his mum's watching or his family, I'd say so. So, but I can imagine the family dinner table would be like, oh, Dad, how was your race? Yeah, pretty good. How was yours? Good.
How old do you have to be in Australia to get your driver's license these days?
17, 16,
Right.
17.
Oh, really? That's changed quite a bit. Oh, okay. Ours are a bit easier than that, but you never pass the test. on the first go.
Drive.
It's just a written rule in New Zealand. You can't pass on the first go.
Oh, yep.
You know, you have to pay the fee twice. It's just the rules.
Oh, yep.
But that's quite interesting. Yeah. I think you can get your full license before you're 18 in New Zealand. I don't know. Now it's sort of changed online.
So
The
we're
point
actually
I was
going
getting-
green here with Bruce Tannick.
The
So
point I was-
off he's gone.
The point I was getting to is the 14-year-olds jump in a real car and they drive like this. But
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Kiwis probably start driving as they're 10. I know.
we just out in the farm, mate. You know, that's where we live.
Yeah, I raced with a Kiwi. I've heard some pretty interesting stories from him. So as see Thomas Martin come through, 2 fishy cars behind him. That's Michael Whiting and Blake Delaney. So they'll be pretty hungry to move up in position. So Michael Whiting's going to look on the outside. Is he going to make the move? He's just going to sit there. No, he's got to back out. So Blake Delaney's just going to sit behind and go, boss, you go for it, mate. I'll just sit here. Protect off one of the guys behind.
Yeah, probably a good position for Michael and Blake now, knowing that Thomas has been running up. How was that not a net code? That was incredible.
That was incredible, Gavin. Right up the inside of the 2 kid cars. Awesome
And he's
teamwork
made the
from
pass.
him. Yeah, I think over the comms they've said, no, this guy's up the inside, move out of his way. So Gavin's just moved up 2 positions in 1 corner. Well done. So we've got the Century
cars have left themselves vulnerable to that Century car as well.
Yeah, so the Century car's going to move up the inside. There's another one there, and there's
Pretty wide up the straight, is it?
Yeah.
Looking at the gap.
Yeah, the Juice cars. Look at the Century car's notched. 2 are gone off the track. Peter's off the track.
Trying to fight for space, and Peter finds himself off the track.
We're in the perfect moment there to see the accident, but we've got another drone shot. Yeah, so Peter's just... Oh, so...
Yeah, he's just ran out of room between the 2 cars.
Yeah, it looks like that. Yeah.
Bit of rubbing, and he sort of found himself in the middle of the kitten car and the other one on the outside, and there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's what it looks like it's happened, so quite interesting. And kitten car up on the inside of Ty Delaney, the 14-year-old, the pocket rocket. Daniel up the inside. Great move by Daniel. Ty Delaney. Here, just a bit of voice chatter with Sebastian Flock. Ray Oliver. On the outside, 2 wide through the bus stop. One of them went really wide. Ray Oliver's went really wide. Frog Leap Racing. Kai Ridley's up the inside of Ty Delaney, I think that is.
Yeah, Ty Delaney, yep. Certainly some passing going on here in these, off the back of the safety car. There's sort of been a bit of a field shake-up. Some of these big guys now having to get themselves back through the field after the pit stops.
Yeah, it looks like that. So, Sebastian Flock's just been, chats been disabled. I've been talking. Too much chitter-chatter.
Too much chatter for the race control's liking.
Yep. So, one of the Frog Leap Racing cars up the inside. Up the inside. I'm just going to call them Juice Racing. Sounds easier. Nah, but bit of a long name, but as we just see Ty Delaney in the background. Vince, one of the kitty cars. Then Peter Morris.
Oh, as we see a
Oh,
bit of action there.
huge,
That's a hard hit into the wall.
massive. Adrian, huge hit from the fishy car. Ty Delaney's just box. So Sebastian Flock's in the pits. Samuel Thomas on the outside, one of the juicers. Oh,
That was an interesting move here. Harry almost getting his front chopped off.
yeah, that was quite interesting there. Just see here. Yeah, up the inside. Juicer's up the inside. It's going to make the look of it. Yeah, massive dive up the inside. Awesome move by him. So now we're on board with Harry Dodds. He's made contact.
Oh, he's giving him a bump.
Samuel's just got a bit of a push by Harry Dodds. He's going to have another look. So he's just peeking around him, seeing what's happening then. So
He's certainly showing his intent there, Harry.
yeah,
Trying to make his way back up through the field.
Randall there. And then we got Andrew Brock. So Proctor's just going to go on the outside of Ty. Oh, the inside.
Another
Who was that?
Another car looking to get chopped off as well. So certainly these guys sort of just need to watch their racing space a little bit, I think.
Yeah,
Try to make
definitely.
these passes on the inside.
Well, there's only 20 minutes to go, 25 minutes, so they're all going to try and make a bit of real estate out here. So Ty Delaney's just struggling a little there. Looks like Brendan's just cut off someone's nose there. So Harry Dodds is going to join the fight with Ty Delaney, bro, and Brendan. So someone's in the middle there, which I don't know who that is.
Nathan Gardner's car is looking really loose right now too. The rear end just looks very taily off the corners. Of Harry in the
Harry
wall, is it?
Dodds, massive. Oh, he's rolled it.
He's rolled it.
Huge contact with the wall. Huge.
How's that come about? That's
PSL
insane.
Welding Services replay. Have a look at this.
Has he? No, he's off the curb.
Oh,
Oh,
so
he's
hit
got a wheel on the grass.
Oh no! Bang!
Big contact.
Huge contact. So he's actually went back into the wall. Oh, there's the roll of it. Just
And well
hate-
done for that kitten car. It's not ending up in the pit lane on the Dodge too. Probably a bit
Yeah.
more room there than it probably perhaps first looked, but
Yeah, it looks like that, but so yeah, I see Sebastian Flock, 11 spots up, passing one of the Whitey's pies. Jake Edwards is just on the back. I think he's made his pit stop. So-
yeah, Jake Edwards pitted a couple of laps ago. I saw him on the timing screen in the pits.
Yep, so we've got him, but Tyson, not Tyson, Thomas, Martin, that was our leader. He's already made his pit stop, so
Yeah, Flock leaving the door wide open there. Jake needs to
Yeah.
try and make a move around the outside of the boot. Perhaps a crisscross, pun intended,
yeah,
the inside line.
that was a good one.
Hey, when
Right.
you're part of the team, that line just comes every single time.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine.
Oh, it was pretty well thought through.
We're up the front with Jamie Dyer, Rick, Brett, and we got Thomas Martin in the background there who has box. So Rick's just having a little bit of a look here. Jamie Dyke. It almost looks like an Aston Martin how Jamie Dyke's got his livery.
Yeah, it does a little bit. Jamie Dyke's certainly under a bit of pressure now. There's a bit of a gap up, 2.5 seconds up to first place, but those next few cars behind Jamie are all right in his bumper, really. Plenty of pressure.
Definitely a lot of pressure from Rick here.
Yeah,
So-
Rick's car looks a little bit worse for wear too, like he's had a couple of bump and runs going on there.
Yeah.
Certainly some cosmetic damage on the front of that BMW.
I think John Lee might need to go out and fix his car when he does a pit stop. So just got to go on the back of Rick's car here. So Brett's just going to have a little look there. So in these cars, these things are very big. So Brett's just having a little look. So he's just on the outside. Looked up the inside a little bit, just staying there. Huge headlights from the... Oh, look at that. So we actually got Thomas Martin actually behind Brett. and Delaney. So, bit of a train here. They're all the top guns of today too.
Yeah, and Delaney's got past Michael Whiting as well somewhere in the last few laps as well.
Yeah, so Delaney's definitely got pace. So does Thomas. Keep calling him Tyson, so sorry about that, Thomas. But just
And
had a bit of
Thomas
a
certainly starting to have a look now, eh?
yeah,
Wanting to
definitely.
make that move.
So he's just having a little look. So we've got Jamie Dyke in the front though. So he really doesn't want to make much of a move because he wants to stay with the pack. So does Brett. So they're just kind of all just playing mind games here. But Rick's bit of a fishy sandwich, but he's making a move. No, he's not committed fully. So he's
Looked like
just
he almost
back out.
he was about to miss out to the Fishy Boys. I think he sort of had to regather his ideas there and get back into line. Going offline, he just about made himself very vulnerable.
Blake Delaney's in the back there, so I think Thomas has made a move on Brett. So now it's definitely a family fishy sandwich. So now we're just gonna tuck back in. No, they're still side by side. So Owen's just asked for a O over the radio. So he's hit a wall, what we've heard. So straight up the inside, Thomas has got him.
Yeah, Brett trying really hard to hang on over those last few corners through the boot, but some very good offline racing from Thomas, that car position.
Bruce has just had a bit of a wiggle out of a corner. 20 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, 20 minutes to go. So Bruce Tannick's in the pits.
Someone's around on the last corner.
Yeah, that was Owen. Yep. So Owen's got a call for go back to the pits. So Bruce Tannick's in the pits. So he's just got to pull into the stop now. Rick's going to be on the back of Jamie Dyke again. But how good's that? So we got probably in the mix. We've probably got Jamie Dyke, Rick. Oh, so safety car. Promo department safety car's out. Now, funny thing is we've got Bruce Tannick that's paired. These boys need a pair. Bruce Tannick's got them.
Yeah, that's absolutely outstanding timing from Bruce Tannick, really, to get in just before the safety car's been called.
Awesome timing.
Perhaps the safety car was called beforehand and he's reacted straight away, just in the right position on track to react straight away. Because the safety car to pick up the lead that quickly, certainly a bit of an oddball.
Yeah, definitely well done to race control to pick it up straight away. Pulled the pro department safety car instantly. The promo department's been leading this race so far. It's about 5 safety cars so far.
Yeah, this will be the 5th safety car, yeah.
As we just, the promo department safety car's just going to pull them around.
So Jamie Dyke wanting to get his restart pretty well in those last couple of laps. He was certainly under quite a bit of pressure from probably 4 or 5 cars behind him. They were all sort of looking to make moves and looking for opportunities. And I don't want to say that Jamie was holding them up, but certainly that gap to the leader, the Tannick was certainly pulling away from the pack there as they were battling.
Yeah, definitely. If I would have to say bet on money right now for the top 3, it'd be those 3 at the top right now. Unless they need a pair, Bruce Tannick might have a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, I think they probably need to make at least one more stop. You'd be doing pretty well to get home on one, I would think.
Well, so fishy boys always like to fuel save, so if they're fuel save, they might be in a bit of a chance here. So we've got 2 manufacturers in the top 3 right now. We've got a Beamer, another Beamer, then we've got a Porsche, and they're all different teams. So we've got Fishy, PRT, then we've got Crisscross. So this is a bit of an interesting battle, but then there's 3 fishy cars behind us. We could just see them, the angry fishy cars behind them. Great liveries by the boys. Well done to them. So pit exit is closed. And as we have Tyler Sheaf just coming through the field, so he's just getting waved around. Oh, Tyler Sheaf's had a bit of contact with the car coming through the field.
See quite a few cars now diving into the pits in the back of the screen there.
So
Last fuel stop to get home.
I would think all the guys can make it now. All the ladies and gentlemen can make it now on the fuel. Don't need a pit. So Bruce Tannick might actually lose on this GT3 right now. So he's sitting in P20. The top three: Jamie Dyke. Just a recall: Jamie Dyke, Rick, and Thomas. Then we got Brett. Then we've got Blake Delaney, Michael Whiting, and who's behind it? Then one of the Juice cars. Then I think the Corsair car behind them.
Yeah, the fresh tyres and a splash of fuel perhaps could give Tannick an advantage, but I think it's a little too far back in the field for the amount of time left we have. He's going to need to rely on some good fortune, I think, to find his way back into the top 5.
Yeah, a fortune cookie would be very good right now.
So by the time the safety car comes around, pulls in and the race gets restarted, we'll have just under 20 minutes left to go in this mini Enduro at Watkins Glen.
So first round of the season, this is going pretty well with got Brendo behind, right next to me, and this is our first round, and I reckon it's been pretty good. So the safety car's got to pull off at this lap. So Jake Edwards is actually in the back too with Bruce Tannick, and they had a bit of a controversy crash in the start of the race. So yeah, I wonder how that's going to all go down.
Yeah, certainly been some good racing here and some unusual incidents, mainly high speed incidents, just cars getting a bit loose, bit of rubbing racing. Nothing sort of too serious, but as you'd expect with this many cars on the grid, everyone's fighting for every last inch of the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely people fighting for the track position. It's definitely you definitely want track position over anything right now. You've only got 18 minutes to go or so. So definitely you'd be wanting that track position right now.
Yeah, lights out on the safety car, races away back to the pits, and Jamie Dyke not crawling through, but certainly slowing the field a little bit. A couple of gaps there already, we see, between first and second and second and third. Jamie's got quite a big gap there at the moment, coming around the third to last corner off the boot. Yeah, closing right up now. Interesting watching Rick's restarts. He's tried some different things each time. Of course, first time Jamie's had the lead of the race on a restart.
Yeah, definitely. Rick's gonna be trying to do something here because he's it hasn't been it's been Thomas the whole way. So we're going to see Jamie Dyke lead the field.
And he's not gone early as we've seen Thomas do in the past. He's holding them all the way to the line.
He's waiting for his teammates to straighten up, and he's gone. Jamie Dyke's gone. Rick's right behind him. I think Brett's actually made a bit of a jump on Thomas. Yes, he has. It's a bit of a teamwork there. So as we see the back of Rick's car, so Brett's up the inside. Has he made the pass done? No. Blake Delaney's involved now, so almost 3 wide. So they're back to single file. So a bit of communication with the Fishy boys.
Yeah, certainly Fishy trying something there. Almost very nearly pulled it off, but great effort there from Thomas to hang on to that third position. But you see Fishy up the back straight now, all over them, having to try and work the outside of the bus stop.
So we've got Bruce Tannick now, so he's up the inside. So he's going to make the move on the kitten car. So he's up to 10th now.
Jake Edwards in the background also trying to get the kitty car, but just gets stuck on the second apex of the bus stop.
Yeah, definitely. So Bruce is going to definitely make up some positions while he's here. Daniel on the outside with the kitty car. So the Corsair is going to be on the... No, the kitty car is going to be on the inside. Yeah, so the Corsair car's been backed out of it. So Frog Elite Racing's in the background there too. So he's going to try and make a move here. This is where an opportunity... So he's going to go actually going on the outside. So he's going to try something different. no contact so far. Good racing by everyone. So he's on the outside. Now he's on the inside. He makes a move here. Yep,
Certainly looking
straight
up
up,
there.
straight up the inside. Great move. Great move by Kyle.
Hasn't made it stick yet. Bit of contact on exit.
Yeah, tiniest little bit of contact. Oh,
Needs
he's
to give
almost
himself
gone wide.
room.
So the AWR car's in the background too. So 2 wide. They've been 2 wide the whole way.
That's incredible racing from both of those guys.
Yeah,
Giving each other plenty of respect and room.
yeah, that's all it's
And I
all
just
about.
don't
Their side of
quite
the win.
think Kyle's going to get this move done coming into turn 1.
Oh, a little bit of contact there, but a bit of a rub. That's all racing's about. I think Kyle's got
He's
him here.
still with him.
So Owens. So we've got a bit of. Oh, Bruce is just giving him the slightest tap, but he's moving through the field like a maniac. He's on a move. So the kitten car's there too, and Jake Edwards is there too.
Yeah, Jake finally clearing Greg. Making his move up through the field now as well.
So a bit of smoke too. Oh, so what a
Yeah, someone's
leap.
eating the bus stop.
AWR's off. Oh, Ridley's off the track. So Jake
both-
Edwards is going to move up into position. Now he's going to make the move up the inside. So Dean's off the track too. So we got, look at this pack. Look at him. Huge pack. So them, oh, bit of
Oh, one of the fishy
off
cars
the
a
track.
bit wide there on the grass. So Jake and Bruce have done pretty well out of that little exchange. They both got through the bus stop cleanly, missed all the incidents there. Found themselves 5 or 6 positions up. Just off the back of those 2 corners. Riding on board with Andrew Linden. Just sitting behind these guys.
I think he's got quite a bit of damage here. He's going quite slow. It's one of the kitten cars, so he's one on the outside actually. Could be wrong. No. So he's got a bit of damage here, so I wonder if he's going to go on the pits or not.
He certainly looks off the pace. The boys are pulling away from him pretty quick out of that corner.
The Fern car's actually got a bit off pace too, so I wonder what's happened here. Oh, this is interesting. So the Kiwi car, but Bruce is up
Car's
into
gone into
11.
the pits.
Look at that. Bruce is absolutely on a charge right now. He's in 11th. Huge mover.
15 minutes to go. Probably now not looking like that big of an ask.
No, it's
After
not.
making those 5 or 6 positions in that one corner.
So safety car. So this is getting even more interesting. So now that Bruce Stanik's in almost the top 10, reckon Jamie Dyke won't be far. So this could be interesting.
Yeah, probably not what Tanak was after, really. It is going to give him a good chance to catch up and bunch the pack, but I think he'd have preferred to run through the field. He sort of had a good rhythm going on there. Jake was sort of sitting in behind him as well. They were making moves. The last thing they want is to bunch the field up. We'll see Kyle Ridley and his incident here. Yeah, just
Wow, look at that. So we got the Beamer off, so one of the frog leaps, and the Corsair car off. So
yeah,
I
it
think
looks like the Ferrari's just kind of gone to make a move, missed the braking point, and just collected Kyle in the process.
oh, yeah, so it looks like the AWR car is just giving him the slightest little bit of push. Oh, look at that. So great move by the AWR car to move. He's hit the Porsche.
He did well to miss the first, but he's kind of. I mean, at the end of the day, that's karma, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
cause an incident, you deserve to be pulled up in it.
Yeah. Won't say anything. I don't want to get a text message later, so I'm gonna leave race control to that. But yeah, I think it's a bit unfortunate because they had a little scrap there, and yeah, just bit of contact, and it's ruined all their races. And yeah, not long to go at all now, so probably 13 minutes to go now.
Certainly is a shame. You know, we've had some pretty good battles, and to have them end like that, it's never something you want to see.
So it looks like a few of them are actually left the race because of the damage. So there's about 10 cars that have left the server from damage.
Yeah, with not very long to go, sitting in the pits probably isn't the most ideal situation.
No, not at all. So we still got 32 cars in this race. So as we just see Tyler Sheaf here, so being quite new to the league and with the comms with the SRW team, talking to Tyler recently, he's a dirt guy, so a lot of sprint cars. So it's good to see him on a bit of road, and he's actually made up 4 spots. So well done to Tyler.
Yeah, that's usually my preference as well. I sort of quite prefer the dirt content as well. I get into that quite a bit and sort of dabble in the road racing just for a bit of what's the word? Just the challenge. I think it's completely different experience to be on the track. And I know sort of coming up through some of the Mazda leagues and sort of getting into GT3s, they're quite difficult to drive. When you're sort of learning roads. So I sort of empathise with Jamie there a little bit and sort of the learning journey, because I've been there and I know what it's like. It's a big difference to go from dirt onto road. You think you've got all the grip in the world, but you're sort of dealing with a completely different way of driving.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I'm actually a main of a V8 Supercar and an IndyCar, so I'm kind of everything at this point. So, yeah, I haven't dabbed my feet into sprint cars yet, but now we're going to go to green. So Jamie Dyke's going to lead the field around the last corner, and he's going to wait till the last minute, I think, for his teammates to get around the corner. So, and he's off, gone. He's out of here.
Yeah, you
He doesn't
see the
want to be
fishy
here.
cars jump to the inside of the track straight away. Definitely some communication going on there
So
between the fishy boys.
Rex
Rick's
right
done
on
well
the
to
brake.
hold on.
Yeah, Rex really used that ABS. So Thomas is actually on the outside of Blake Delaney, I think. Yes, it is. So Thomas is going to be up on the outside. So they're half. He's actually got him. No, Blake
Yeah,
Delaney's got him.
Blake's in there. He looks like he's gonna have the inside line up to the bus stop. I almost said horseshoe there for a second.
Yep.
Found
There
his
is
way.
one. Yeah.
Found his way through.
But yeah, Thomas hasn't got the move done yet. But he's back into a fishy sandwich. So back to one of the kit cars, Daniel. Seen him getting around recently. Good to see him in everything right now. Ray Oliver, he was in Porsche Cup last night. Good to see him. Bruce Tannock's right behind him. So he's just going to look at the inside. Yep, he's going to make the move. Yeah, good move.
Yeah. Found
Oh,
his man to 10th, and Jake Edwards sticking right behind him, following him through in 11th.
yeah,
So those two certainly surging through the field here. 9 minutes left to go.
Oh, but Thomas with a huge move up the inside by Blake with Blake Delaney, but Thomas has made a huge move. Blake Delaney's up the inside. Look at that.
Bit of a desperation dive there from Blake Delaney.
Yeah.
Thomas ran him off Thomas ran him out of racing room a little bit there, pushed him off wide off the other side of the curb. He's trying to fight that back. They're really using all the racetrack now, trying to get through. And it looks, Delaney gives it too much jandle.
Yeah, way too
Saves
much.
it nicely though.
Too much jandle. So Bruce Tannock's going to pass him too. So he's back into 11th. Blake Delaney not going to be happy with that, but Bruce moves up. Bruce has actually made a move up frog leap. So and there's been another incident with Adam Simpson. Oh, look at it. Huge incident. So there'll be a safety car
On the home
promo
straight.
department.
Possibly a bit of checking up from the earlier incident.
So I got Adam Simpson, one of the fishy cars.
Or is this this is a completely new one.
I
Done
don't
that all
know.
by himself.
So it sounds like Ty Delaney was in it. Oh, and Harry Dodds. He's been in a few incidents tonight. So we can just see someone on the outside. Oh, so Ty Delaney's actually been collected too. Blake Delaney's son. Look at that. Oh, what are the
Bang.
kitten cars too? Look at that.
What an
Huge
angle.
incident. Awesome. Oh, the Corsair car was involved too. Jake Edwards was in it too, so huge incidents.
So that safety car is going to take a few minutes out of the race time, and it's probably put Jamie in a pretty good position, I think, going into the end of this race.
Yeah, definitely looks like it. So we won't have long to go after this safety car. Harry Dodd's calling it in too on the radio. So seeing Tyson McAvoy in the safety car, the promo department safety car. Thanks for his help for tonight. Stefan's our race control, Carfin. Then we've got Tyson McAvoy as our another race control / safety car for tonight. And Jamie Dyke's just got a hook onto the back of safety car. So but as we just hook onto the back, so we'll do a couple laps of the safety car, promo department. So this will be our 6th safety car if I'm wrong. Brendo, I think it is.
7, I think. No, 7 now, isn't it?
Yeah, 7.
7?
Oh, Bruce Tannock was involved. Apparently Bruce Tannock's been in an incident.
No, he's still in 9th place.
Hang on, what's happened?
I think our timing's a bit behind here. It's showing Jamie Dyke as first place, but 28 laps down somehow.
Oh no, Bruce had an
Oh, no.
incident.
Oh, right. Right, I see.
Lap 30.
There we go.
Lap 39, we had an incident with Bruce Tannock. With Jake Edwards.
Again.
Yeah. Last lap.
So Jake and Bruce running quite well together up the pack, but they've come together again, it seems. Just trying to find the replay of that now.
Seems like it.
So here we go. We might have something here.
DSL Welding Services replay. So, yeah, a bit of an incident with Bruce Tannock and Jake Edwards here. So it just looks like Bruce hasn't given him enough room on the track. I'm looking at it. Yep. So Bruce has moved back onto the line. So, yeah, so he's moved across. Yep. Oh,
Just got a bit unsettled on the curbs there by the looks of it. Tried to give
yeah.
them as much room as possible, but a bit unfortunate there from Whiting to pick him up on the way through as well. So that's a shame from those two boys. Delaney.
So that was Delaney because he got caught up in another incident. He went back to 11th. So thanks for DSL Welding Services action replay.
Have we gone green again?
Yeah, we're going
Like
green.
we have.
Sorry.
Went green during the replay. So 3 minutes to go. Probably a couple of laps left, I would think, in this race.
Yeah, a couple of minutes to go.
Jamie
So
Dyke looking to hang on.
we've got Thomas making a move on Brett. He's going to have a quick look. He's going to stay behind him. He's going to line him up in a different corner. So he's just going to go to the curve, smash the curbs. So right now, Jamie Dyke, Rick, and Brett, top 3. So a good battle back, battle pack in 10th. Sorry, with Blake Delaney, Michael Whiting, and the Fern car and the Kitten car. With Matthew in our Fern car, the Kiwi car. One of the kitten cars is trying to look up where he can put his car. Can't find a position yet.
Yeah, it's the last place you want to be, stuck on the outside of the boot. You lose so much speed, getting scrubbed,
Yeah.
scrub so much momentum coming around the outside of that corner if you haven't got the right line.
So we're just with Blake Delaney. And then we've got the battle pack up in P1 with Rick. There we go. So we've got three battles. We've got P1 and P2, P3, P4, and P10 everywhere basically.
Yeah, I think Rick's done a pretty outstanding job really this race. He's sort of sat in second place for the most of it. He's bided his time. It'd be a shame not to see
Thomas
him
up the inside. Sorry to cut you off.
capitalise. No, you're right.
Cut you off there.
Too wide up the hill.
Yeah, too wide up the hill. So we've got Thomas up the inside, Brat's on the outside. I think Thomas has got a bit of damage there. So all night, the inside's been the faster line, but it looks like Thomas has got a bit of a bent front wing, bit of a splitter issue. So we've got Bruce Tannock up the inside, so he's going to make another move. No, he's going to stay back in the inside. And a Proctor. Andrew Proctor's actually taken a Bruce Tannock. So he's made a move on Bruce. It's been the opposite all race, but it's been good seeing someone fight back. So it's good to see.
You see Nathan Gardner just lurking in the background there, looking to capitalise on that opportunity.
Yep.
Looking for the opening there of these two guys.
Owen's had a bit of an incident with someone.
A couple of cars in the background coming into the boot, running a bit wide and finding the grass as well. Managing to regather though.
Yeah, then we got the battle pack up here. So we got Luke and who's the other one? Daniel, I think that is. So, a bit of a contact with a frog leap car. That's with Ray Oliver. Bit of contact. So Brett's still in front of Thomas. So we went back to. Oh, Rick's made a move. Oh,
and he's got it wrong. He's done so well to save it.
Thomas is around.
But on the final corner,
Brett's in P1.
Stole the win. Brett stole the win.
So Brett got the win. He's just went from P3 to P1.
What a finish.
Jamie Dyke, Michael Whiting is in P3. The whole top three is fishy.
And it's all off the back of that dive from Rick. Just doesn't quite nail it. Jamie does so well to keep control of the car. Brett absolutely capitalizes. Did very well to miss Jamie, actually, sliding across the track.
Thomas was caught up in that, so he's P12. Oh my God, what a finish. Top three are fishy. So we've got the view of Brett's finish in P1. So there's Rick, there's Dyke. Straight past him. What a win.
Absolutely stole one. What a finish.
What a finish. That's at least one of our... Let's, if we can go back on Michael Whiting as well, because he got P3. So...
And just the wherewithal to avoid both of those cars. Jamie could have quite easily been collected there by Brett on the way through.
Yeah, definitely. But as we see, Michael Whiting is take P3 as well. So he was actually sitting behind Thomas here. So Thomas has went around.
Thomas went on his own.
Yeah, so Thomas went on his own. There's Rick. There's P3. Top three fishy.
What a finish.
What a comeback from Michael Whiting. Came out of nowhere. Wow. Well done to those three. The whole team is taking the top three. Wow, what a finish. And Brett is actually a British driver too. So well done to Brett. That's why he's got the green, like the Bentley green almost. So well done to Brett. The Fishy Motorsport. All three of them, Fishy Motorsport. Not the first time we've seen it, and it won't be the last. Now we can get a bit of a drone shot from here. Now we'll just wait for Jamie Dyke and his BMW. But well done to those guys. Awesome finish. Wow, I'm out of breath.
There's certainly an exciting finish to the race, that was for sure. Pretty good racing all round, really. Most of the incidents coming just as a result of some rubbing racing, which we like to see. The rubbing racing, not so much the incidents, but
Yeah.
very well done by all the
Like,
drivers, I think. Oh, iRacing just having a moment there.
oh, Jamie Dyke would be spewing though.
Right.
Go, Jamie. Do some burnouts, brother. We'll just wait for it to go through the stream. We know Jamie Dyke tunes on the stream. The old bus driver, he can do 4 things at the same time, so be good to talk to all 3 of them.
Well, one thing I found really difficult racing was trying to watch the stream as well. It was something I tried to do for a little while, but it's quite distracting when you're trying to race and you're watching the stream at the same time.
Well, it's Sprintcars, Brendo. How hard could it be?
Oh, mate, you've got to turn left. It's quite hard.
We'll just wait for Jamie to do some burnouts as we know him. So all 3 of them in the green room, all fishing.
Yes, you do.
So we got Michael Whiting in the booth. Mate, what a finish. I don't think you could have hoped for anything more. What are you feeling, mate?
Yeah, no, it was certainly not what we were expecting. I feel a little bit disappointed for Jamie, to be honest. He deserved that win, but got turned at the last corner. If we had a let off and let him have it, I think we would have got rounded up as well. But no, it was a good race. Just tried to stay clean the whole race. The whole team was sort of working together, which was good. Tried to save to keep the stops to a minimum, and the results show for themselves.
Yeah, 100%, mate. We saw you and Blake Delaney working together for a bit, and we saw Blake get caught up in a bit of that. He looked like he had absolute heaps of pace in that car.
Blake's a weapon in these cars, mate. He had an unfortunate incident in the last corner where he went a bit hot and the car got sideways and lost a few positions. He wasn't able to get him back before the safety car was called, so... and I think he had a little bit of damage, I think he said, so which didn't help the situation. But he had a good race. Where did he finish up in the end?
He finished up. Sorry, we're just having a look at the results now, mate.
He was 18th, so yeah, he lost
18th,
a heap of spots.
Yeah.
He should have probably been on the podium, to be fair. He had a belter race all week. So
yeah, 100%, man. But you got to be happy as a boss. You've got all 3 of them in the top 3.
yeah, look, everyone in the team drove really well. Some of the guys had a few incidents down the back, but it's a pretty big field for the first race, so it's going to be expected a little bit. Obviously, you want to try and minimise it, but everyone drove really well. Dylan Thomas, 30th to 15th. His brother Sam drove well as well, 32nd to 21st. So yeah, everyone had a good night.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And we've always been noticing. You've probably got told it forever. Like your team's just been expanding, man. And I remember when there was probably only 4 or 5 of you. Now it's over 10, I reckon. You could probably correct me on that.
There's a good 15 current drivers that drive all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, man. And we saw Brett is actually from England, if I'm not
Originally, yeah. He's been in Australia for a long time now.
Yeah, and definitely get him in the green room later. But I think you'd be happy, man, definitely as a boss. But like you said with Jamie, bit unfortunate, but I don't think you'd be sad getting the top 3. But
everyone wants to win, but when you have it taken off you like that, it's never a nice feeling. But the podium's still a good result.
100%, man. Who would you like to thank from your family, your sponsors, or anyone, mate?
Look, I'll give a big shout out to the sponsors for Fishy Motorsports. Obviously, all the guys that drive for us. Awesome result for tonight. So our major sponsor, West End Motor Group, Precision Sim Training, DC Shades, Adrenaline Images, Relax Marine and Game Fishing. Who else have forgotten? Battery Warehouse, Airlie Beach, and all the guys who support us on the stream.
Yeah, definitely, man. That sponsorship's going bigger and bigger. You got so many on board now, but if anyone wants to go and check them out, Fishing Motorsport. But go and have a beer, mate, and go and congratulations your team.
Yeah, we'll do. Cheers, mate.
There, mate. And now we'll pull in Jamie Dyke. I'll just move him over. Give me a sec. There we go. Jamie, what can I say? I know you've had a bit of a incident on the last turn, but I want to more talk about you were just you were P1 for most of that time, man. How was the nerves?
Nerves are fine. Car
Nerves are
felt
fine.
good.
That was it.
Yep.
That was it, Rogie. But yeah, we saw the incident. Oh my god, look at that crash in the background there. But we saw you were making moves, man. You were just slowly gaining and gaining, and you just got up there. And bit unfortunate about the last turn, or
Was that a question or?
yeah, mate. Yep.
Yeah. He shouldn't have been there. He was nowhere near an overlap, and yeah, he just fucking ruined the win for me, didn't he?
Swear jar. But yeah, we saw your bus driving skills, man. You were just on it tonight, absolutely on it. Especially, have you driven the GTs much, man?
Yeah, a bit. I've done a few 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah. I've
So-
seen you in a couple of endurances, and yeah, you do very well, man. But yeah, you just had a clean race, man. I don't have much for like. I'm pretty speechless from what's happened, and there was a lot of incidents with Thomas. Thomas actually lost it at the end too. So yeah, there was a big old incident at the end. But yeah. Do you have any questions, Brendo, while we're here?
No, I think you kind of summed it up quite nicely. The key to winning the race today was consistency, and I mean, as you mentioned, Jamie just really unfortunate that last corner, his consistency wasn't quite rewarded, and it's just a bit of a shame, really. But second place is still a good result. I think you recovered that slide pretty well, and at the end of the day, it's still a good result for the team. So
yeah, for the team, a 1, 2, 3. Can't be more happy than that. But yeah, on to the next one.
Yeah, 100%, man. And that's what I was talking to your boss, and yeah, definitely. I said to him, you can't go wrong with a top three with like I think it was 38 cars in this whole field, so or 40 or so. But yeah, man. Would you any mentions of family sponsors, anything? Whiting's already list them off, but if you got anyone else, shout out.
Nah, I'll let the winner do that. But yeah. Oh, thanks to Whiting for the setup. It was on rails.
Yeah, I can imagine you boys have just been on point today, and definitely a good little win for yourself. But yeah, good win as the team. So good podium, man. I'll probably catch up later in the week.
Thanks, man. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, you see, mate.
straight up.
So now we'll move Brett into the green room. There he is. Brett, mate.
Hey, how are ya?
Yeah, good, man. I don't think you would have thought that you would have been finishing up P1 from that far back, mate. Honestly, speechless. Like when you were coming across the line, we're like, "Oh no, Jamie's around, Rick's around." Like, then there's you, boom, straight past. And yeah, mate. What? Any words?
Yeah, no. I think I'll buy a lotto ticket this weekend because look, it was Jamie's race, right? And it was clear. And as much as a victory's always good, it's a bit hollow this one because yeah, my teammate should have had it. And sometimes you do get lucky on track, and today was my day. But listen, the Fishy Motorsport Mercedes was awesome for me today, and I certainly wasn't as quick as Jamie. And for a lot of the time I had Thomas right behind me, but to be fair, racing with Thomas was pretty awesome. It was fair and some good room left, especially coming through that bus stop. I don't know how he can get through there so quickly, but yeah, lucky day for me today. It should have been P3, but more than anything, I'm just wrapped that I beat the boss. Don't tell him that, but that's always a tick because he usually pips me every time.
Yep.
But a fishy 1, 2, 3 for the start of this season is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we talked earlier about the consistency of the drivers, and you were running with Blake and Boss there for a bit, along with Thomas, and that in racing, I think is really what kept you guys up at the end of the day. It gave you that opportunity in the area to sneak through at the end. Thomas unfortunately found himself caught up in a couple of incidents, and that's what ultimately killed his race. Whereas you guys, you fishy boys, just ran clean all day. It's really paid off in the end, I think.
But this is the probably the biggest benefit of racing with most teams, but especially with the fishy guys. I mean, you kind of know where you're at, and who's who on track, and what we each can do, and that's just the best thing is just that you don't need to take so many risks when you're racing with these guys, and that helps keep the consistency going. And yeah, Blake, as you say, got very unlucky there and got tangled up, but we could have had a few more cars in the top 5, if not the top 10, if it wasn't for some bad luck. But yeah, again, racing with these guys is just the best thing. It really is.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I've nicknamed him, and you can tell your boss and everything, and even Blake. I've called Ty Delaney the Pocket Rocket, and man, he's got some pace under him too, definitely from his dad. Like, look at that move you just done there. That was awesome.
He's quick, eh? It's unreal. Like all of
Oh.
a sudden, bang! He's just come along heaps and bounds, and it's awesome. Having him part of the team and the young guys is just really good. And let's be honest, to have Blake as his old man teaching him the ways always helps. But he's such a good lad, and he's definitely gonna be one to watch for the future in this sport. And yeah, it's really really good having him on.
Yeah, and I think sorry, bad cough. Yeah, I think like from you and Thomas, that was just some great battles, man. For your last, I think 5-6 laps there was just hard battles, and I think we were on you for like half the stream, really, like more than half the stream. And yeah, just an excellent drive, man. And we saw the green livery, and I don't want to get this wrong. Is it a bit like of a Bentley green kind of thing?
The Aston Martin green. Yeah, look, thanks again to Infinity Designs for doing the car. But as you probably can see through the other guys, that we each have our own kind of color now. And yeah, I went with the Aston Martin green, and yeah, I think the car looks amazing.
100%, man. Just a consistent winner. And who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank firstly all the boys at Massive Bad Luck for Jamie. Look, he's going to be up there all the time. Next time, I'm sure of it. But listen, Infinity Designs, I said, for the car, Precision Sim Training, Western Motor Group, Relax Game, DC Shades, Adrenaline Images. You guys are all absolute legends, and thanks for helping us out. And you boys doing the stream and commentating for, what was it now, 2 hours? Thank you very much, and all the team at SRW.
Oh, it's all good, man. We do our job. So, but yeah, well done for the win, man. And any family, or is that it?
No, oh, look, of course my family let me do this, but I just hide out in the garage, and I think that they like that sometimes.
Yeah, man. Good for your win, bro.
Thank you.
Honestly, yeah, go and get them, man. Go and have a good beer.
Yeah, thanks, and thanks again, guys.
All good, mate. Have a
Enjoy
good
it,
one.
mate.
Well, I don't think we could have had a better round than that.
Yeah, certainly an exciting series, and plenty of good racing, and I think it's going to be a real positive sign for things to come. We've got plenty of guys there looking to make opportunities. Already saw a lot of guys trying to make passes and not afraid to put the car up inside a gap. So as the series goes on and the racing sort of tidies up a little bit, as it always does, I think we're going to be in for a really good series.
Yeah, 100%. If anyone's keen, yeah, just watch the stream and have a look. Honestly, every Friday night, come watch the stream. Come and have a look. And yeah, all these top drivers, like you've seen all the cars tonight. We had Fishy, Kitten, all of them. And yeah, big thanks to all the sponsors. And have I forgot anything else? I think that's pretty much wrapped up. But yeah, honestly, first round, not bad at all. And thanks to all the viewers for turning up. And from Brando, myself, and Shippy, have a good one.
We'll see you next week.